All right, so everybody can see the screen okay? Yes? Okay. So welcome to tonight's call about regenerative patches for healing. We're going to be talking about the X39 with LifeWave. Get a little something in my mouth. So let me see. It doesn't want to do my advance. There we go. So I'm Lynn Del Mastro Thompson. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm an energy healer. I'm a hypnotist, and I'm also now a global manager for LifeWave. And we are joined also by Mina. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mina Campos. I'm a holistic health practitioner, a body talk practitioner, a body talk access trainer, also a student of biogeometry, and I also work with doTERRA, and now I'm a LifeWave Global Director. And I started using LifeWave only about a year ago. And I just started doing the business part of sharing it only in August. And I am loving the results and being able to help people with activating their stem cells and just full regenerative health and healing. So I'm really excited that you guys are taking the time to be here tonight to join us, to learn, and to just, spark your curiosity about this new product.
Yes. And we'll share maybe a little bit later, a little bit of our experiences with the product. We'll kind of share about the product and then what we've observed in ourselves or those we've shared with. So remember when we were young and we could just play all day? We had boundless energy. When we would hurt ourselves, fall down and get a bump or a bruise or scrape, we would heal really quickly. Or like little ones who get sick, they bounce back in a day or two. So that was pretty amazing. But most of us now, we deal with aches and pains. We don't heal quite as quickly as we used to. And, when we get a cold, sometimes for some of us, it can last a lot longer. So, what is that all about? So, as part of the aging process, when we age, our stem cells mutate and they go dormant, and that causes a bunch of different changes in our bodies. So, we see that on the surface as wrinkles, we get body aches, our organs can have some challenges. And so, being able to heal requires an abundance of these different stem cells that our bodies make. But the problem is that as we age, stem cells decline in number. So I think this is just really interesting to look at what happens. When we're 20, we have a billion healthy stem cells, quite a lot. And by the time we get just another 10 years older to the age of 30, that declines by 60%. And then by the time we get to 50, that goes down 75%. And by the time we're 60, it's 90%. So there's quite a marked decline of stem cells just as part of our aging process of our bodies. So, before we get too much further into this, we just want to share that neither of us are medical doctors. So, this presentation is just given for educational purposes. We're not giving anyone medical advice, and we're not attempting to diagnose, treat, or cure or prevent any disease or illness. So, just keep that in mind and always consult with your doctor as well if you need to. So let's talk about what are stem cells. So you may have heard of this term before, but what are they really? So stem cells are really our body's raw materials. They do lots of amazing things on a daily basis in our bodies. So they can reduce inflammation in our joints and elsewhere in our bodies. They can trigger cell death of old cells, so what's called apoptosis. That can also help reduce cancer risk when that's working properly. They differentiate into different types of tissues. So they help repair our muscles, our bones, our cartilage, fat. Our organs are made of stem cells. Basically, all of our physical body is made up of this material that had come from stem cells, and they self-replicate. So before, what was the solution for if you wanted to support stem cell production in your body? Well, the solution often offered by kind of medical treatment is injections, and those can be quite costly. thousands and thousands of dollars. They can be risky, it's controversial, and there's no guaranteed result that your body is going to actually accept these cells because they're not from your own body. So we're excited about LifeWave's X39 because it actually helps your body make its own stem cells. So you're not taking anything and putting someone else's stem cells in your body. You're actually just helping your body do what it does and make more of them. So there's no other product like this on the market that's able to help your body do this. And it's clinically proven to produce younger, healthier cells. I'll share a little bit more about the research in a bit. And it is FDA recognized and a compliant product. It's non-transdermal. So what does that mean? It just means nothing goes into your body, into your skin. So there's no way that this could have like an interaction with medications you're taking or any kind of complications like that. So it's really safe. It's non-invasive. And basically, it's made out of these. So you can see I'm wearing one of the patches. So in the center, there's a lattice structure and there's some amino acids and salt that basically signal our bodies to make certain peptides. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go forward. So this is all medical grade casing and adhesive, and it's easy to use, and it's a patented technology, meaning nobody else can create something like this. So again, yeah, there's a patent for it. You can actually look more at it on the site patchedu.com if you're curious about it, but things have to be very unique to get a patent. So this means this is a very special product. And there's also research studies. So I encourage you, if you're somebody who likes to kind of understand a little bit of science and research, go to Patch EDU and you can actually look at some of these double-blind tests that show that it elevates a life-enhancing peptide that we're going to talk about here in just a second. Do you have anything to add so far, Mina, that you want to chime in on?
Nope, you're doing awesome. Just
Perfect.
basically, the only thing I would also add is the Patch EDU is a great website to have more information and research if you're looking into the science. And then another great website would be www.startx39now.com. So those are the two websites that are going to have the science, the research, and all the data if you're a data-driven person or if you need evidence-based science. And it is an FDA approved product as well.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so how does the technology work? So we're working with light. We're working with the body's own light, actually. So you may have heard of phototherapy. A lot of people are familiar nowadays with things like red light therapy, where we're getting therapy from light outside of our bodies. But the cool thing about these patches is they work through the light that our body actually produces. So if you think about kind of night vision goggles, you can see human bodies emit light, right? We've all seen when there's been something on, TV that shows that kind of effect and being able to see people in the dark because their bodies are emitting light. So in the same way that the sun hits your skin and signals your body to make vitamin D is one of those vitamins really that our bodies produce because the sun is actually signaling it to make it. This is kind of a similar principle to what the patches are doing. They're signaling our body to make life-enhancing peptides. So again, I kind of covered this, but this shows a little bit of a thermal scan of how our bodies produce light. And using that light, we can enhance our body's flow of energy and use these patches in a very powerful and effective way. So I think this is a really interesting, just little example of what these patches do. So this is a 77-year-old female yoga instructor, and they did a brain study of her 3 weeks apart, and she was using this X39 patch on the back of her neck. So you can see in the first session, there was a lot of red in the scan. So there's a lot of like overactivity, the brain kind of not being balanced. And by the time we get to the second session a week later, there's no more red. So things are calming down, and we can see that there's a little bit more balancing. And by the time we get to the third session, there's kind of an equal distribution. It's not kind of like there's only this color in the middle, it's kind of spread throughout. So this is just over 3 weeks what was happening to one person's brain. And I think on that Patch EDU site, there are kind of more examples of this type of thing as well. So if that intrigues you, you can kind of look there for more. So what does the X39 do? So it reflects back a very specific wavelength of light that activates a specific peptide that our body produces. It's called the GHK copper peptide. And this peptide has been proven to activate your stem cells so that your body produces more stem cells, resets your stem cells to a younger and healthier state. So there's a lot of complicated science that you can read about that, but in a nutshell, this is what the patch is doing to activate stem cells. So what are some of the benefits of using the X39? So again, it produces these life-enhancing peptides, and that produces healthier cells. It produces younger cells. It improves our strength, our stamina, improves performance, recovery, improves movement and mobility, and it can help with youthful energy. So getting us back to, like we were those little kids who could just have boundless energy and play. Supports just overall health, wellness, and vitality. Naturally increases our longevity, which who doesn't want that? And just renovates and rejuvenates your whole body. So a little bit later too, there's some images of some pretty amazing transformations that people have shared with using these patches.
And another amazing website and resource is also www.pubmed.gov. And if you type in GHK-CU, which is the copper peptide, you can see all of the different benefits, all of the different studies about it. And then if you also type in LifeWave and X39, you can also find more research and data as well.
Awesome. Love that. Love that you can also do your own research and, know that this is based on some very solid science. So the patch, if you haven't heard of it before, these patches have actually been used by athletes and everyday people around the world. So before there was the X39, the inventor that created it, David Schmidt, has another patch that we still have in our product line called enhancers. And so he did clinical studies with these energy enhancer patches with the Stanford University swim team. So he did a lot of kind of studying with that. And then in 2008, the Olympic swim team used these energy enhancer patches and they swept the field with medals. So pretty cool to see this in like a real life application. And since then, athletes around the world have used patches for increased performance and stamina. In fact, kind of one of our direct team members works with, which team is it in Kansas City? The Chiefs? Yeah, and they're using this product as well, the football players. So again, this is drug-free, no injections. It's a vegan product. Nothing goes into the body, so it's non-transdermal, non-invasive, gluten-free, latex-free. It's just a simple patch. And it activates that peptide that alters gene expression towards a younger biological age and also healing, as we're talking about tonight as well. So what can one expect when they start to use this patch? Well, everybody's different and results are going to vary, how quickly you're going to see them and what in particular your body is going to prioritize in your healing because the stem cells are going to go to what your body deems most important to repair first. But you might notice that there is more vitality. Younger and healthier cells begin to proliferate, and there's an increase in energy flow, well-being, and vitality. Maybe there's mental clarity as your brain becomes more balanced. So your cognitive symptoms might go away if you have any of that type of issue. Maybe
Definitely. Yeah, like brain fog,
Brain
for brain
fog,
fog,
yeah.
this is amazing. Yeah.
And, even if you don't have the like serious cognitive issues, I think most of us by a certain point of our life, because of different factors, we do deal with sometimes brain fog in our lives. So strength can improve, stamina improves. They're again being used by athletes. In fact, I think Mike Tyson was kind of spotted using them as he was training for that fight with the younger fighter. So, again, in trying to increase strength and stamina. And for the purposes of what we're talking about, your health can improve. So, as you continue to use these for maybe 6 to 12 months, you may notice many internal and overall health changes. And it's very cool. A lot of people share what they've noticed in changes in their blood work or going to see a doctor for their routine physical and like how these things are just improving because the body is healing itself and just overall wellness. So, giving you greater benefits for health, wellness, longevity. Anything you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, just that it really helps with performance. And it just, when everything that you're saying just reminds me of all of these different stories and testimonials that we're constantly hearing and we're seeing in our family members, with our clients, with our friends. Even tonight, we were talking to one of our brand partners, and she was saying how, like, she has been doing Kung Fu and she's in her early 50s and she's been doing Kung Fu, and like everyone in her group has noticed her strength developing and that her performance is peaking. And they're like, what are you doing that's different? And so she's like, the X39, and so the X39 is the patch that's our baseline. It's the one that you're going to start with, it's the foundational one. And it's really an incredibly unique product. And it usually takes around like 3 months for it to like really kick in. Again, everyone's different. Your results are going to vary, but within 3 months, usually 97% of people will notice a change in their health, in their well-being, in the way their body is just optimized in general. So it's been truly a gift and a blessing in our family's life, in my life, my husband, my even I patch my son, not directly with the X39 because he doesn't need the stem cells, but the other patches we definitely use on him all the time as well.
Nice. Awesome. So, if you haven't heard about LifeWave before, you might think that maybe it's a brand new company, but it's actually not. So, it was founded in 2004. So, we just had our 20th anniversary, and it's now in over 80 countries. So, it was originally developed with the energy enhancers, which I referred to a little bit earlier. And those were developed for US Navy SEALs to increase their strength, stamina, and performance without drugs, stimulants, or caffeine. So that was the kind of the initial product. And the X39, which we're talking about tonight, has been in development. It was in development for 10 years and it took $4.5 million to develop. So, really, a lot of research and funding was poured into this to create this product. And it was officially launched in 2019. So the company has grown over 3,000% from 2018 to 2024. So with that introduction of the X39, and it has become one of the fastest it has become the fastest, I should say, growing direct sales company in the world and winner of the 2024 Direct Selling Award. So there's our headquarters in California, Utah, and Ireland with manufacturing and laboratory testing in those areas. So LifeWave was founded by David Schmidt. He's a brilliant man, a scientist and a researcher, and he holds over 150 different patents. He's conducted over 90 clinical studies, and he holds an honorary doctorate of science and technology, and he's a leading expert in phototherapy. There's pictures kind of blocking, and research and science for 20 plus years. So he's the two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Aware from the International Hall of Fame. So a lot of accolades to his name. And he calls X39 his greatest achievement yet. So he's really proud of this particular product, even though all the other patches he's developed are, amazing and offer a lot of wonderful benefits as well. So how does one use this X39 patch? It's really simple. So we wear it behind our neck or below the navel. There's a couple key acupressure points on the body. And we put it on clean, dry skin in the morning. So this is a patch that one wears in the daytime. We have some other patches that you can wear at night, but this one you specifically would want to wear during the day. And you can wear it for up to 12 hours before you discard it. Sometimes for people who are a little bit sensitive in the beginning, they want to kind of wear it for a few less hours to begin, just to kind of acclimatize their body. So if you're somebody who tends to be sensitive, you can keep that in mind as well. And then just repeating the next day with a new patch. So each day is a fresh patch, and we want to make sure we're drinking plenty of clean, pure water because that helps with the patch. It also helps the body detoxify, which is part of what this process also supports. And consuming foods that are high in potassium and magnesium, or using electrolytes, or even just a pinch of salt in your water or on your tongue can really help make sure you're getting some electrolytes to help the product do its best. So again, just a little other piece on what to expect. Everyone responds differently, as we've said before. We do have a health tracker that's a great way when you get started to kind of note your baseline, like where are you starting from, what sorts of things are you dealing with, and then checking in monthly to track what's happening. Because sometimes, and I've seen this just even working with clients in healing work, we forget the changes. We forget the things that we used to struggle with. So if we kind of take note of that and take a baseline, it's like, oh, that thing isn't even a problem anymore. Maybe we forgot about it 2 months later because it hasn't bothered us anymore. So it's good to have that to track. And the patches, again, go to work wherever the body needs them. So your body is incredibly intelligent. That's what I love about the work that I do with energy healing as well, is the body is intelligent, and this is just another way to help the body heal. So it's recommended to use them at least 1 month per decade you've been alive. So if you're in your 50s, you want to use them for 6 months because you want to include that 50 range. If I'm correct with that, right? Yeah, okay. And then we want to commit to 6 to 12 months and beyond if you have a lot of health issues that you're trying to resolve. So these are some just really cool photographs of changes. So this was somebody that I'm not sure the exact story, but obviously he had some um, scarring and damage to his face. And within 3 days, look at that, like how much more quickly he was probably healing. I mean, I wouldn't imagine to go from day 1 to day 3 for most people would happen without some support for the body to heal. And this is a surgical scar. So a surgery that happened in July 2017. LifeWave patches were used until July, from July 2018. So very quickly, it had healed some, but look at that. You can barely tell in just a month that there is much of a scar left for this person. So just another example of kind of the outward appearance of age reversal and kind of wrinkles diminishing. And I like to say, if you can see this happening on the outside of the body, what's happening on the inside that we can't really see? We can't really see what our organs are looking like and how they're reverse aging, but certainly they're benefiting from this technology as well. So this is Marcy. She's actually one of our senior presidential directors. And in 2019, she was just recovering from cancer. And that was around when she found LifeWave. So you can see how much she started to recover in terms of just looking more vital. Look, I mean, she looks so vibrant and healthy in this last picture. You would never say that this person had been through chemotherapy and gone through that journey. So again, just a few more examples of the outward healing and reverse aging happening here. An example of physical healing. So we have kind of some spinal issues and how the body is correcting itself from one image to the other. So the spine kind of straightening out and healing.
Yeah, we
And
even have like someone on our team who her husband was about to get knee surgery, and now they have actually documented that he's been able to regrow cartilage in his knee, and he ended up canceling his knee surgery because he no longer needs it because his body is actually doing the healing that it needs to do so that he's no longer in pain and so that he's actually fully functional and able to do everything he used to do.
pretty incredible. And I think kind of from the medical perspective, it's like you can't regrow cartilage. And it's like, look at that. Yes, you can with the right support for
And
the body.
granted, like just to be realistic about it, he's been using the patches now for 2.5 years. So it wasn't like something that happened overnight. So I always like to be very conservative and realistic around the timing. And he uses the patches every day of his life. And he's using mostly the X39, the Eon, the ice waves for pain when he does have pain. And now he doesn't anymore, but he used the ice waves for a while, and then also the glutathione. So the glutathione, so we're going to talk about all of the different patches, but I just want to be clear that there was a whole protocol that he followed and it did take time.
Yes, for sure. And then this is a particularly fascinating example as well. So this person had kind of cut the tip of their finger off. And when they went to probably the ER, I think the story was, they were told there's no point in reattaching this little tip of your finger because it's never going to heal. It's going to basically rot and decay, and you're going to have a problem on your finger. And this person had found the X39, I think not that long before, and said, I want you to reattach it, and I'm going to use this patch. So at first it looks pretty bad, but then it completely healed. So what was again said medically to be not likely or possible, full and complete recovery of this person's fingertip. So again, a few more just kind of reversal of kind of aging signs of the skin with wrinkles. Some people have started to regrow hair, balding, loss of hair, or I know, Mina, you've said your hair is just growing in thicker and just more lustrous. So another positive benefit.
Yeah, postpartum, that definitely will happen where like you start losing hair and all kinds of different things. And that was like my biggest healing is postpartum. Everything just kind of went back. Like I feel now after a year on the patches, I'm like, okay, I'm back to myself again. And just, you know, going back one slide, like with if we can go back to just
Yep.
one slide. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. One slide before. So we mentioned how like this
That one? Is that one the one
no,
you
the
want?
gentleman, like how he was able to regrow
Oh,
hair,
yeah.
right? So, and it's like back to his, he's regrowing hair back to his original color, right? So there's that. And also with the Life Wave patches, it's regenerative medicine. And when you're activating stem cells, you don't get to tell the stem cells where to go, which is why you're using the patch for 12 hours a day, right? So even when you get stem cell injections, it's super expensive to get stem cell injections, and there's two huge risk factors. One is that your body may not receive that blood, right? Because you're getting someone else's stem cell blood plasma from the stem cells injection. So, one, your body may reject it. And two, maybe there's something else in your body that's a priority that you don't know of. So, even though you're injecting, the injection in your knee to regrow cartilage in the knee, there's no guarantee that that's where it's going to go. Maybe there's like underlining and other causes and priorities that you don't even know of that are happening. Maybe you have like an abscess in your tooth or like a heart condition. And so the stem cells, if they get absorbed into the body, they'll go there. And then with these patches, the beauty of them is that it's activating your own body's ability to regrow stem cells to stimulate that peptide. And by using it 12 hours a day, right, all day, consistently over time, your body is just getting all of the different priorities in its own timing and sequencing taken care of. So that's what I love about this. It's regenerative and it's working from the inside out.
Beautiful. Couldn't have said it any better. And it can even be used on animals, as we can see. So here's a dog that looks like had cataracts, and using the patch, and this has happened in humans as well with cataracts. People have actually reversed the cataracts and not needed cataract surgery. But very cool that we can also share this with animals. So if this is something that sounds interesting and you'd like to try this technology for yourself, we encourage you to reach out to the person who shared this event with you and have a chat with them. But we want to share just a little bit about some of the other patches. So we've talked a lot about the X39. We also have the X49, which works kind of in tandem with the X39, and it helps to build lean muscle mass. It actually works as a shield from EMF, so electromagnetic frequencies that we're all bombarded with all the time, and it activates a different copper peptide. So this is one that's often used by athletes, but it also has a lot of benefits just for us average people who might not be athletes. We have the glutathione patch, which is an immune booster, a master antioxidant, and a detoxification support. So it basically amplifies your body's glutathione production within itself by 300%, which is pretty significant. So if you're somebody that struggles with detoxification, this can be a great support.
And for any kind of pain in the body as well, because a lot of times pain is toxin. It's right. So it's stagnation and toxicity in the body. So I remember when I was telling the story about the guy who was able to regrow cartilage, and anytime there's pain, you're going to want to also include eventually in the second or third month the glutathione.
And then we have the Eon, which reduces inflammation. It helps with cortisol. It's a mood booster, so it's kind of a happy patch. It helps with anxiety and things like that. And this one we often recommend starting with this and the X39 because inflammation, we all have inflammation to some degree and it eats our stem cells. So we want to make sure what you're doing with the X39 is not canceling out the benefit. The inflammation is not canceling that benefit. We have the carnosine patch, which supports every organ in the body. It lengthens our telomeres, which are basically the ends of our chromosomes. When I talk to clients about these, I always say, remember the end of your shoelace has a little cap on it. It's basically like that for your DNA, so your DNA doesn't unravel. And it promotes healing and longevity. We have the Alavita patch and skincare system, which reduces oxidative stress. It builds collagen. So this is like the skin, nail, hair patch, but it also has a lot of other benefits.
That's going to be like the non-toxic Botox one, right? So it's going to be the one for the skincare. And it's also what's amazing about the Alavita patch is that it's also decalcifying the pineal gland, right? So that's helping us to connect, right, to our higher intuitive processes as well. So it's also working at that level as well.
Beautiful. And then we have the SP6, which is actually named for an acupoint on the body, and it reduces food cravings, balances hormones. It's really good for the digestive system. So it's another amazing patch. The Silent Nights, which activate melatonin for sleep. The energy enhancers, which you heard about a little bit earlier, the original kind of product, which help our mitochondria and all the cells of our body turn fat into energy. I love this one because I don't drink any caffeine. I'm like super sensitive to caffeine, so I've never had anything when I have like a terrible night's sleep. What can help myself? And when I put these on, it's like I can feel my body just waking up and feel supported through the day without like a jittery caffeine anxiety that I get.
The
Yeah.
energy enhancers are also amazing for respiratory, right? So for respiratory support, so think of like long COVID symptoms and things like that is you're going to really want to use the energy enhancers.
And then we have the ice waves, which reduce pain. These ones, most people, when they try them, if they have, specific pain in an area of their body, they notice within 15 minutes a significant decrease of that pain. So it's pretty remarkable if you have very specific, like your hip hurts or your knee hurts and you need some support there.
Another way I love using the ice wave is when I have like a sinus infection or if I have like a flu or a cold and you know how like you get congested, I can also put them like right in these acupoints and the ice waves are going to be amazing for that. So both the ice wave and the energy enhancers are a pair of two, right? So there's a tan one and a white one. The white is going to go on the right side, the tan is going to go on the left, and you're just going to place it on different bilateral parts of the body. Or if it's like a pain thing, you're going to do a specific technique with it.
And then we also have the AccuLife patches, which are specifically for pain in animals. So if you have an aging pet or a pet with some issues, there's also support for them in that way. But you can even share your X39s. There are people that take off their X39 at the end of the day and will attach it to their cat or their dog's collar because there's still some life left in it that can benefit our little furry friends.
I
So
also like to do it with my plants as well. I put it like on the bottom of like my my flower vase or like on my plants and that seems to really keep them going for longer as well.
nice. That's something I haven't thought of trying. So just a little bit of information about if this is something that you're interested in, how to get started. So we have different enrollment kits. And these are fully customizable. The person who invited you to this call can help you determine because there's a lot of patches and you don't want to start with everything. You might not need everything. So we usually, well, we always suggest starting with the X39 and the Eon, but whoever, invited you to this call can guide you to any additional patches and the timing that you might want to add those in. So we have the core enrollment, which could be used for 3 sleeves of the X39 or 6 credits. So you can use them for some other patches in addition. We have the advanced enrollment, which can get you 6 sleeves of the X39 or 12 credits. And then there's the premium for if you have like a whole family that you're wanting to kind of support. So most people start with the core or the advanced. Did you want to chime in anything about the? Nope. Okay. And there is a Hasselback money back guarantee. So you have a 30 days. If you try the patches and you're not seeing anything, or for some reason you change your mind, you have 30 days to return the unused products and get your money back. But as Mina said, most people within, 3 months, 97% see real benefit, and most people in that first month will notice a lot. So let me stop the screen share, and we would like to, do you want to share any particular story or kind of testimonial before we open it up for questions? Or I know
Well,
you,
I feel like I've shared a few already
yeah,
that were
you
so yeah.
have.
I was like integrating them in as we went. So yeah, we'll just open the floor for some Q&A. Any questions you guys may have, either unmute yourself or if you're shy, you can always type it in the chat. And yeah, we want to honor everybody's time. And if you have to go, we understand, but we will stay a little bit longer to answer some questions. And also, thank you for your time if you were here with us this evening. And we look forward to hearing from you. And if anyone is interested in the health tracker, so if you want, we can send that PDF to you. Just reach out to whoever sent you this video.
Yes. Anyone have any questions? Yes, Drexel.
So with that formula you guys had with the age, so I'm 33, and how many months would I want to do the patches? Could I see myself benefiting off the advanced package, which is 6 sleeves of 30? how many months does that equate to according to the formula y'all gave earlier?
So probably you would, if you did the advanced package, what I would suggest doing is getting, because it would be six of the X39s, or you could do three X39s and then three Eons and maybe three Carnosines. So depending on who you're going to be signing up with, then that person would guide you based on, and this is where the health tracker would come in. So like we would talk and go over what your specific health and wellness goals are, what your family's health and wellness goals are. So we would come up with a specific protocol and package for that. But usually we highly recommend people start with the X39 and the Eon. And that's called the dynamic duo because the X39 is working with the stem cells and also the GHK copper peptide, but the Eon is bringing in and working with reduction of inflammation. And one of the things with like any kind of pain or injuries in the body is that that stem cells get eaten up by inflammation. So that's why we're wanting to help reduce cortisol levels and also any inflammatory response in the body so that your stem cells can thrive in a healthier and better way.
Got it. Yeah, I could see myself benefiting off of that particular package.
Mhm.
The duo, what would you call it? The dynamic duo?
Yep, yep. The
Yeah,
X39 and the Eon.
that sounds pretty appropriate for my situation. So it's funny because I saw someone wearing the patch at a Costco. I was like, oh my goodness, is that a LifeWave patch? And they're like, she must have been in her 80s. I think she said she was like 84 or something like that. And she's shopping around, jolly old lady. And she was like, yeah, it's a LifeWave patch. And she was just so stoked about it. She's been using them for a year. And it just kind of confirmed that like I should really figure out a way to get my hands on a like an advanced package.
Yeah, and
So,
giving it at least so like you're in your early 30s, so I would give it that at least that 3 month of using both the Eon and the X39 and see how you feel within that 3 month. Do the health tracker. And yeah, it's always an amazing confirmation when you see somebody out in the street. So I'd been wearing it for like 6 months before my husband was like, okay, I think I'm going to give it a try. And the only reason why is because we were out and about for dinner and someone saw me wearing it and they're like, oh my gosh, you're a LifeWave person too. These things have changed my life and they changed my husband's life. And then my husband paid attention to it only after there was like outside confirmation, which is great. Like, we need validation. It's great to have confirmation, and the synchronicities are always going to be there for us to help support us on our journey. So it was really, that's wonderful. Thank you for
hmm
sharing that.
My pleasure.
Well, thank you.
Any
Anyone?
other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you guys. Oh,
Oh, did you have, yeah,
oh,
Patricia?
So, using them, so you're talking about, the two patches and wearing those for 12 hours during the day. So, like, let's say you wanted to use silent nights and you had already used the two of those during the day and you had taken them off at whatever, 10, 12 hours. And can you do that in one day?
Yes. You just don't want to be wearing the same kind of patch for more than 12 hours. So you wouldn't take off an Eon and put on another Eon like at night. You can wear Eons at night. Like sometimes there's different benefits to wearing one in the day and one at night, but
Yeah, and so where do you find all that information? Where is all that information?
so there's an amazing patch manual guide,
Oh,
and then also whoever is going to sign and enroll, help you set up your account is going to be able to guide you and have those conversations with you. So that's why this is a direct sales kind of business model is so
Mhm.
that there can be an educational component and a support system to how people are using this product because it's a product that needs that guidance. So whoever invited you today is going to help support you and guide you and remind you and make sure that you remember and know and are using all of the patches properly.
Right. Okay. And I need to actually look because I ordered the the special for Black Friday
Yeah.
for this month. And then I had been doing life X39s for um, probably about 4 years. So and there was a break in there because I had a lot of few surgeries going on other things, but just just forgetting basically. And so starting again, I can't remember what I ordered for my subscription. I'll have to look at it and see. Can I change that before it comes? It won't come till start until January. Your subscription can is that possible to change that before once you have done it? Is it possible to yeah remove something and add something different?
Absolutely. So as long as it hasn't been shipped out yet, then
Then
you
it's
can
okay.
change it.
All right.
Yeah. And usually, like on our team, we don't usually have people stay on this subscription. I always tell people to, unless they want to do this subscription, but if not, then just order kind of as you go.
Yeah, and Lynn was talking to me about that. So just all this, lots of information, lots of information.
Yeah, and we do these calls like once a week, so feel free to join us and our team on any calls. And just by the repetition of it just really helps,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it's definitely becomes part of a lifestyle because you're really learning and kind of playing with the different patches. And, there's so much to learn with this stuff and health and wellness, and it's always evolving. And also, our state of our health and wellness is always shifting and
Mhm.
changing. So,
Yeah, super. Okay, yeah, I can use some fine tuning right now. I'll tell you right now. So, okay, good. And I'm already connected with Lynn and the woman who signed me up 4 years ago has moved out of our area. And honestly, I don't even know how involved she is with it at this point. But that's all in the works. We'll just figure all that out.
We'll talk about it some more.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. We have a couple more questions. Um, Ivanara, you're muted.
unmute yourself.
Yep.
I was just wondering, there is one person here that we don't see who that person is. Maybe that person would like to ask a question or something like that. I also have Leia Segi, who is one person that I enrolled. And Leia, if you can speak, I would like to see how you're doing with the patches. Leia.
If you're willing to unmute yourself and share,
And if not, that's
that's
okay.
okay
We'll
too.
talk
Yeah.
about it another time.
Yeah. And Drexel has another question. So
Just really quick before they may want to come on and ask share their testimony. I wanted to ask, since this is a direct sales opportunity, if I were to get one of the packages, does that mean I become a distributor of this patch as well? Or what does that mean?
If you would like to become a brand partner, then yes. So you do have a link that you can also have the opportunity to do the business as well.
but it's not required.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's not required. I
It's
think
not
It's
required.
not
Yeah. And
required.
not required at all. Not
no, you could
required.
just be a
And
customer basically and
yeah,
use the product, or you could choose if it's something that you're interested in.
Well, I'm the type of person that when I buy into something, for example, I'm a Kangen water distributor because I bought a Kangen water generator. And I've sold about two machines just because I drink the water, people ask me about what I'm drinking, and I talk about it. So I could see myself as a person purchasing a LifeWave package. As I'm wearing them, people will be asking about it, and I would love to um, kind of practice what I preach by sharing it with people and possibly selling it to them. So it's just one of those things that I'm interested in for sure.
Awesome. And also, sometimes we have people that want to, like, because some people wear more than one patch and they're like, okay, well, I want to also share with my community and get my patches actually paid for. And so, yes, there is the business opportunity side of this. Tonight wasn't like we're not going to go so much into that, but soon, I think next week, I will be doing a webinar about that. So if anyone on this call or anyone on a future call wants to connect with anybody that shared this recording with you, then you can talk to that person who is offering you information about the patches, and they will have more information to. We do have a business WhatsApp chat group. We have a business Facebook. Every Monday night, we do a Monday Mindset business Zoom call. So we do have all of the strategies and business opportunity mentorships and leadership trainings in place. So you are going to be in the right team to get you to what your goals are.
I'm super interested in that. Thanks for sharing.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, unless anybody has any last questions. Anybody else before we sign off?
Okay,
Sure.
so next Zoom call. Awesome. No worries.
Perfect. Yeah,
So
and if you'll get the link to the replay. So if you want to see the first part of the call, and you want to ask questions of whoever invited you to this call, that's fine as well. Whoever invited you can answer any questions as kind of a follow-up.
amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for
Thank
joining us
you.
on the call this evening. And feel free to reach out to the person who sent you the link for the health tracker and for information and also for help with setting up your account and placing your orders. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and we look forward to connecting further with you soon.
All right. Thank you,
Wonderful.
everybody.
Thanks.
Good
Bye.
night.